Hi guys, I think I'm audible to you and I'm live to you people. I think everybody able to see me. So this app is new to me, so I had some problem with the display, and today I'm going to show you the thoracic outlet syndrome and its misconceptions. So here I have some. Yes, everybody able to see this? So it's somewhat tricky, this thoracic outlet syndrome. So I have to show like this only, I think. So as such, the thoracic outlet syndrome concern this. It is a compression of brachial plexus and subclavian artery by the attached muscles, or I say not only the muscle, some other part also, the bone or the muscles. And when the TO is concerned, we have three types of TOS, that is neurogenic, arterial, and venous. So, according to the area of affection, this neurogenic also called as some other name, that is pectoralis minor syndrome, and the arterial, which has been called about the Scalenus antiguus syndrome, and the venous part which has been called like the costoclavicular syndrome. So there are three syndromes we have in TOS. The neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome. This is any abnormalities of bony and soft tissue in the lower neck region that compress and irritate the nerves of the brachial plexus. This is about the nerves. It is not for the artery or the venous system. The venous area, it is damage to the major veins in the lower neck and upper chest. It develops suddenly, often after unusual and tiring exercise of the arms. Then if we are seeing the symptoms like a swelling of the hands, fingers and arms, as well as a heaviness, we will see. So whenever we are getting a swelling in the arm, so we can say that some venous injury has happened over that area. Arterial thoracic outlet syndrome is very uncommon, but most serious one. So it is any congenital bony abnormalities in the lower neck and upper chest. Any bony things, if they have any cold sensitivity in the hands and fingers, numbness, pain or sores of the fingers, then we can say that there is a poor blood supply in the hands. So if we are seeing the scalene muscles, the scalene muscle is of 4 in number. Anterior, middle and posterior we know. Also we have scalenus minimus. Scalenus minimus is attached from the C6 to C7 area from the transverse vertebra C6 to C7 and attached at the fascia of the lungs, that is in the cupola, in the topmost part. So here I am showing you the scalenus posterior. This is attached from the transverse process of the lowest 2 or 3 cervical vertebra, and it attached in the second or the third rib. So this is the scalenus minimus. It is attached at the C7 vertebra. Sometimes it is in the C6 and it is attached to the first rib and the fascia on the pleural dome here. So we say it is the cupola area, the dome of the lung, upper the upper part of the lung or upper lobe of the lung. So the patient who is having a TOS condition, they have a referred pain in this area, the outer part and the posterior part of the arm. So they have a referred pain. If the patient is having the involvement of minimus, that is the scalenus minimus, they have pain in the arm, outer side of the arm only, outer side of the arm. So this diagram showing how we do MET technique to the scalenus muscle, that is particularly the posterior position of the patient is supine lying position, and you have to keep a pillow under the upper thoracic area and rotate the neck as much as possible, that is 45 degree above. 60 degree are available range. If it is going above 45 degree of rotation, then we surely say that we are going to work on the scalenus posterior. If it is less than 45 degree, then it is scalenus middle. If it is neutral, then it is scalenus anterior. That only I am going to show you here. This is for the posterior, and the scalenus medius and anterior attached in the first rib. So this is for the scalenus middle, and the scalenus anterior, which is attached in the first rib, and this is how you are going to apply the MET to the scalenus anterior muscle. It's a neutral position. Ask the patient to do a rotation, and we are going to resist that rotation. The rotation should be towards the side of lesion. And this is what I told you, the pectoralis minor syndrome. This is also called the thoracic outlet syndrome. This is one part. Here if you are seeing the yellow color, so this yellow color is of a brachial artery, and the pectoralis minor muscle, if it is tight, it is going to compress the brachial plexus. So you get a neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome. So if the patient is having any tender spot over the pectoral muscles, particularly pectoralis minor muscle, they have severe pain on the anterior aspect of the shoulder and diffuse pain on the medial side of the arm and the forearm. So this diagram also, which is showing about the different areas of compression. One is the costoclavicular area, another one is the scalenus triangle, and third one is the pectoralis minor area. This diagram, which is showing to confirm the diagnosis of the pectoralis minor pathology. If upper abduction and you are palpating the artery, if you get artery, that is a pulse, then you can say that this is the involvement of the pectoralis minor muscle. So this is the costoclavicular space. In the costoclavicular space, we have a subclavius muscle. Under the subclavius muscle, we have the vein. If the patient is having the problem in the vein, we are going to release the under surface of the clavicle. So the patient always complains about swelling on the hand or arm and the forearm. So in that time you are going to release the subclavius muscle and the scalenus anterior muscle. So between the scalenus anterior and the subclavius muscle have that vein, the subclavian vein. If it is compressed in this area, again we have a problem in that. Okay. So this is showing all the three area of compression. First one is the pectoralis minor space, the second one is the scalenus area, and the third one is costoclavicular area. So according to the compression area, this has been called three syndromes. One is pectoralis minor syndrome, second one is the scalenus anticus syndrome, third one is the costoclavicular syndrome. So other than this, the pseudo thoracic outlet syndrome, the some of the muscle which causes the pseudo outlet syndrome. So these are the tender points which give a trigger tender or the trigger zones in the arms. These are the four muscles I showed here, that is pectoralis major, latissimus dorsi, teres major, subscapularis. So out of this three areas, that is pectoralis minor and scalenus anticus area and the costoclavicular area, apart from those three areas, we have to see these four areas also in thoracic outlet syndrome. Pectoralis major. So pectoralis major, we have three fibers, and the costal fiber we have abdominal sections also. According to the area you have to release, whether it is a clavicular area or sternal area or the costal area. How this is going to give you pain, and how do you distinguish which fiber is involved? So here is the answer for that. So you have the clavicular part is the anterior aspect of the shoulder, the pain will come. If it is the sternal part, then the patient mostly complained at the center of the chest, and sometimes it will go to the medial aspect of the forearm. And if it is in the lower part, that is costal part, the patient complains pain in the lower border of the chest or pectoral area pain. So the referred pain mostly localized substernally, and it may include the anterior chest and the breast, and may extend down the ulnar aspect of the arm to the fourth and fifth fingers. So you have to go with that. Okay. So this is how we are going to release the pectoral muscle, particularly the clavicular fibers. The clavicular fibers, the upper fibers, so attached with the clavicular area, lateral margin. So you release that with a myofascial release, or you can apply MET to this area. And again, this diagram shows about MET technique. How do you apply? It's a horizontal abduction to adduction. Take the hand into horizontal abduction and ask the patient to apply a horizontal adduction motions, and we resist it. And teres major muscle, how this is going to give you a pain. So teres major, here you see the patient complains pain on the lateral side of the arm or the shoulder. See here, lateral side of the shoulder, and sometimes it will refer the pain to the triceps long head, and you find the trigger point and the groove between the lateral lower edge of the scapula and the axillary fold is palpated. So on the lateral side, mostly at the axillary area, if you are going medially, then you will find the rhomboids, and inferiorly the latissimus dorsi, laterally it is teres major. So examination and treatment, you can use any kind of treatment. You can use MET, you can use MFR, you can use transverse friction, you can use any kind of soft tissue releases. So whatever which is coming in your hand or in whichever you are mastered. Mastered means here it is whichever technique you know well. So latissimus dorsi, yes, this is a very big muscle and attached at the groove of the humerus, bicipital groove. If the patient is having pain in the latissimus dorsi, they mostly complain pain in the inferior angle of the scapula, mid thoracic area and posterior shoulder. So you find the latissimus dorsi and release. So these are the referred area, that's inferior angle of the scapula, above the iliac crest, front of the shoulder. So to release the latissimus dorsi, we do anterolateral fascial elongation technique in MFR, and the subscapularis muscle. If the patient is having a subscapularis muscle tender spot or the trigger point, they have the referred pain on the posterior area of the shoulder, mostly the posterior area of the shoulder, and sometimes on the dorsal aspect of the wrist, but mostly they complain pain on the posterior aspect of the shoulder. Again, you have to release the muscle with any of the soft tissue releases. So we do arm pull and we do elongation. So this is how we are going to apply arm pull in myofascial release. We do a three-dimensional fascial twisting. I say it is twisting or ringing, or three-dimensional technique we apply, and directly over the pectoralis muscle you can do a release, pectoral release, pectoralis minor and major, and this is a release for subscapularis. You have to abduct the shoulder and give a traction in order to bring the scapula outside. After that we have to work anterior aspect of the scapula. You have to avoid the lateral border of the scapula. So you have to go through the costal surface of the scapula. And here we are going to use the different types of releases. Here the upper thoracic release we are releasing in order to release the thoracic outlet syndrome, particularly costoclavicular area. And this is for the latissimus dorsi and subscapularis, or we can say the middle thoracic area releases, mid thoracic area release. And these are the general exercises we can teach to the patient of TOS, that is scapular squeezing and the activation of the upper trapezius, breathing exercises, mostly the diaphragmatic breathing and stretches of the thorax, upper thorax. Then you can do the shoulder circles, and this is about some of the points I have to discuss. In the thoracic outlet syndrome, we mostly don't go with only the area of the scalenus anterior, middle and posterior. We have to see the other muscles, the pectoralis major, teres major, subscapularis and the other muscles, this 4 muscles. Okay. So this is what I want to discuss with you in thoracic outlet syndrome. Not only we go with the 3 areas, that is in the scalenus anterior and the costoclavicular area or the pectoralis minor area. Apart from this, we have to rule out 4 muscles, that is the pectoralis major, teres major, subscapularis, latissimus dorsi. Okay, I think I completed this. you also understand that we should not go with only one differential diagnosis, that is only the TOS, that the three areas, also with other muscles which is giving a referred pain in the body. So thank you so much, and I thank the Physio Hercon team for giving me the opportunity to present and show the PowerPoint like this in this platform. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.